What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, ReadOptionAgency.com. 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And we are Thursday morning. eBay orders, Posh orders. And if you think I talk out my ass sometimes, you're probably right. But on this occasion, you're not. So how I always say that when it feels like there's a shutdown overnight, I don't know how many times I've got to say this, but this one was just the most oddest of them all, is that it always seems to end and start on the exact same minute. Usually it's like a 30 or a 45. My last sale came in. This is why you can't tell me there's not something to this. 9:56 p.m. Next sale came in 7:56 a.m. That's what, 10 hours? 10 hours of blank on eBay overnight, which makes sense because the day before yesterday, there was a lot of those listing issues, server failures trying to list. Yesterday, it looked like it exploded. I personally didn't even list yesterday. There were so many people complaining about the server failure trying to list. So I didn't even list. I just drafted. But it seemed to still be a huge problem yesterday, which could attest to a large overnight shutdown. Yeah, down detector was a little higher than normal all day yesterday. But anyway, so I don't always talk out my ass. Maybe just most of the time. Yesterday seemed like we were going in a good direction, but then it just halted. Did make it up to $519, worse than the day before. And the day before looked worse than yesterday was going to be. And it turned out to be worse, so. That's the part about you can't predict what's going on these days, as we kind of talked about yesterday, just because of the so many glitches and problems going on with the site. So right now I'm at 8:30 a.m. I'm only at $17. So as of 8 a.m. I had 0. So, or I should be more specific, 756. Traffic yesterday, 30 items sold, 21 promoted, 9 organic. So the organic was down 61% on number of items sold yesterday. Let's see, questions and comments. Pee-wee picture, pee-wee picture, pee-wee picture. Let's see. Hi, James. My Tuesday sales weren't too bad, but could have been better. I had 2 tiny sales today. Not too impressed with that. I was really hoping to do better today since funds from Thursday on will be delayed until Tuesday to the holiday weekend here. Gotcha. Pee-wee picture. Does his new medication seem to be helping with the seizures? Yeah, he has not had a problem with the seizures as of now. So that's good. He's in his little spot back there he likes. The next problem I'm trying to fix is his wanting to always get into the trash can. We got a locking one. He figured out how to unlock it. He figured out if you tip it over, it unlocks. He figured out how to unlock it without tipping it over. Put it up on the counter. Wasn't a problem till I went to the post office yesterday. Come back, trash is down all over the house. Who knows what he ate? So now what I've been doing is hollering at him really loud, scolding him, and grab him by the collar, drag him, put him outside in the backyard, close the door, lock it so he can't push his way back in, and left him out there for probably about 30 minutes. The first time he was scratching, trying to want back in. Nope. Then later the day, he again got up on the counter like he was going to get to the trash can. Screamed at him, grabbed him by the collar, put him outside, locked the door. So we'll try that method and see if we can break that trash can bandit mode. Get that mode turned off. So, but I think that's the last hurdle with him. Well, the outside's going better. He knows some of his perimeter. So when I take him out, I put the leash on him, but I just drape it over him and walk beside him for the most part. And I kind of let him go until I see him go into the area that he, for some reason, hasn't found the boundary yet, and he always goes past it. So once I see him headed toward that area, I catch up with him, and once he crosses over, pull him back. No. So after we get that area fixed and the trash can fixed, he'll be a perfect puppy. Of course, the trash can's the real problem. The learning the front yard perimeter is just a bonus. Pee-wee. I love chilling and watching these videos, but I don't quite understand your logistics. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you go title, save draft, photos on phone, save draft, fill out remaining details on computer, save draft, and when you're ready, list? No. I create draft, or I just take a draft template, take pictures, put on shelves, take pictures, put on shelves, take pictures, put on shelves, kind of processing the items. If you get them in, I just knock them all out by taking pictures in a draft template. Then the next step is doing all the details, title and details, save. Title, detail, save. It's just when you see me go really quick, unlike CDs or hats, it's because main details are already set in stone in my item specifics. I use generic terms for the most part, unless it's a name brand like hat, like a New Era or something. Then I'll change the branding of the hat. It's set at just hat for the brand, because normally people are not looking up Richardson hats or Otto hats. So I just leave it as hat, because if you notice, for some reason, eBay always wants to put the brand of the hat as hat. So I just leave them all at hat, unless it's a bigger name that people would actually search for. American Needle, New Era, Sports Specialties, things like that. More the collector field, if you will. So that's why I just go down, and for color, I just put multicolor, because most hats are multicolored technically. That's multicolor in my mind. Something like that, I would put beige and blue in the title and just put multicolor in the thing. So when I make the title, Kango Newsboy, beige, blue. Done. And then the item specific will change my baseball hat item specific to Newsboy. So I click that to change that. But yeah, all my item specifics are set at generic terms. And for the most part, I just skip them. So I kind of use the logic of, would somebody really use the separator on the side to look for this item? That's where I kind of draw. Like when it comes to cassettes. My theory is it's older people looking for cassettes. They're not going to be using that whole breakdown bar. More than likely, they're coming in looking for a specific cassette. They're going to type it in the title, and what shows, it shows. So that's the kind of the, maybe wrong, but that's just the kind of way I do it. So, and that's the way I can do it and then list so much quick, you know, list a lot of items quick. If eBay doesn't want to fess up and be honest about the problems, then they pretty much bought that bad rap that they are getting here on YouTube and other websites. Problem today is no accountability. That's 100% right there. People in higher positions in almost all institutions seems to get away with running whatever they are in charge of into the ground. It's not really, I don't think it's, well, I kind of look at it as similar but different. They kind of have their own vision, and they're very ego-driven and stubborn because of their extensive work history or where they've been before, or just an egotistical person, or the fact that they're making $100,000 plus a year. Or, I mean, probably, well, definitely more than that, but making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So they're just stuck in their own world, and what we see doesn't matter. Their vision is what matters. So I think it's more of the ignorance level driven by money and ego. Maybe that really cause in that. And it either works or it doesn't. So most CEOs seem to have a direction and stick with that until the end. Whether that end is success or failure, they stick with it till the end. You very seldom see a CEO make the decision himself to pivot, because in order to get results, you really need to go through the process. So if you feel that this end process is going to be the way it should be, until board members step in, you're going to see that till the end. Now, if board members come in and say, "Hope, you need to stop. We're not liking this. You either change or you're out," then you could see a change. Not really necessarily say that, but give the impression of that. Then you might see somebody step back and go, "Okay, let me reevaluate what's going on here," and then start looking around and looking at us lower people, if you will. You're okay with 42%? What? Who makes money? eBay? Not you. Mine's 24 and I'm crying. I pay them $4K a month to sell. Well, you're looking at it all wrong. First off, is your 24 consist of shipping? Because shipping fees alone, depending on the price of your item, of course, your average sell-through rate item, even if it's 20, you're charging probably $10 for shipping on a $20 item if it's a bigger or heavier item, which means your costs are already at 30%. So I would think your 24 is probably not including shipping, I'm guessing. The shipping costs, anyway. My 42 consists of the shipping also on top of that. And if you look at it as what you can't look, if you're trying to run a business or even resell, you can't look at it as how much you're paying them. It's how much are you making. If you're dead fixed on how much they're making, then you're already doing it wrong. Because if you're paying them for, that should include the shipping. And in my case, if I was paying them for, I'd be putting about $5,000 in my pocket. So I'm concentrating on, I'm worried about my $5,000, not their $4,000. And it's not even their $4,000. It's divided up between them and USPS. So gotta look at it differently. Reselling may not be for you if you are fixated on what you're paying them. The way I look at it, the more I pay them, the more I'm making. So hopefully I'm paying them $100,000 a year, because that, you know what, that means I'm putting $200,000 in my pocket. So, if you will, roughly, you know what I mean. And them meaning eBay/shipping. Mercari 0 fees, eBay 13%. I can see a lot of people leaving eBay. It's a different move. The problem is, okay, you're bringing in more sellers, but now that fee is getting pushed onto the buyer, does it give you less buyers? That is the jeopardy you're playing with there. Do you all of a sudden get this flux of items, and then you get a backtracking of customers? Then you've just got a bloated website that stuff's not moving on. So I give them an A for effort, trying something different, for sure. But I can see the website. I mean, it's not like stuff moved quick on there anyway. I mean, I probably only have like 30 items on there, so I'm not one to judge it. But from what I've seen other people talk, it's still like 4th on the list or so of, yeah, eBay, Posh, Etsy, and then maybe Mercari. I've never looked at Mercari compared to like Grailed or any of those other smaller ones, so I don't know the details on that. But as far as popularity and money behind it and ads and things like that I've seen, I would put Mercari over like Grailed and stuff like that, Depop and stuff like that. So if you already have a site that's not really moving too much product, is adding more product going to fix the problem or change the outcome, if you will, in a positive way? I don't know. We will see. I write my sales down too. I used to get 24 minimum sales a day with 1,000 items. Now I get 1. Predictability stopped after Promoted started. Yeah. As soon as Promoted started, my sales completely stopped for 2 weeks. And I had to get a part-time job as I was losing my mind. Search is crap. I gave up trying to buy something as it would work. New China crap came up. I wanted an old used item, but it didn't show the correct category. Even AI screwed everything up. Yeah, it's a train wreck. It is a eBay website is a train wreck. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? It feels that way at times. There was a couple of days last week or whatever that didn't feel like that. Now there's a couple of days this week that don't feel like that. But for the most part of the last month, it's felt like that. So that's a plus. Yeah, I know where my sales are, in the dumpster. We're right there with you this week. Someone reply. Power to the people. The brain is, if you don't use it, you lose it. I think that's with anything in life. And I'm caught up now. It's time to see what's sold. See what we're shipping. Alrighty. I think I got everything. I'm curious to see international today. Yesterday had 0 international sales in 24 hours. Did today produce any? We'll start off with purchase shipping label, see if I have to remove anything. Well, got one UK. That'd be that newsboy hat you saw. And another UK, another hat, and a Chile. I've got Chile blocked. How did Chile buy a hat? And another UK. So that's good. Almost as many. Well, not really, but more than normal in the morning. Percentage-wise. Remove 4. How'd that Chile thing come through? I got Chile. I got South America blocked. All right. Oh, let's get these posh out of the way first. We've got these Asics women's shoes sold for $13 on Posh. So I went through and cleaned up my Vendu yesterday, and they've been contacting me, wanting me to be a, what's the term they used? An ambassador. Because I told them my problems with having such a big store, so they want me to reach out to somebody there and set up a phone call. And I'm guessing they'll be able to pull all of my store over into Vendu that way. I don't know how much that's going to cost me. My problem with Vendu right now is if you got a small store, it's perfect. Boom, 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 go for it, man. My problem is I've got so many items, it won't just pull the stuff over for me. Basically what I have to do is when I list small and then pull over, like within 25 to 48 items, so then I can pull those over one at a time, and then I can list them on other websites. So my plan is to, and then when you end and sell similar, it breaks the link. So then if it sells on eBay, you have to go in and actually delist it. Just go to Vendu and hit sold on eBay. You have to manually do that. So that's another thing, is if you end and sell similar, it kind of ruins that. And all my items are pretty much ended and sold similar, so whenever it sells on eBay now, that's why I went in and put PM in the SKU next to the where it's stored, so that when something's sold that I know is cross-listed, I'll see that PM when I go to pull it or whatever. And then I know at the end of the day, then I go into Vendu and delist all those items, which is a pain in the butt. That's why I haven't listed, cross-listed in like 4 months. Because it's just turned into a pain for me because of the way I do business. So I'm trying to figure out a better way of doing it. Because you can delist, if you have a smaller store, you can delist and relist on Vendu. So you don't have to do it on eBay. But I've got so much. And you can probably only do so many at a time, where on eBay you can do 200 at a time. And when you got 52,000 items, it's better to do 200, 200, 200 real quick and knock it out. So they're not conducive to big stores, but they work really well with smaller stores, 10,000 less, 15,000 less maybe. I'm not sure how many it will actually pull over altogether. We got these women's high heels here, sold for 13 bucks. So that's why I push them, because it's the most convenient one to use. it seems. I haven't used List Perfectly in a long time, so I don't know what changes they have made. Let's go ahead and get some stuff in here. Do I got any stuff in here? I should have a second bag somewhere. And the affiliate link for Vindu is below if you want to use it. I'm still making a good amount of money from the affiliates, so thank you guys for using my affiliate to start up Vindu. To start up cross-listing now that Macari is free. Definitely need to grab that Vindu from me. Waterfowl hunter's hat sold for $11, headed to Iowa. So I went in and cleaned it out yesterday. And I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do this, how should I do it? So I'm thinking about going in and start like on, say, t-shirts. Go to t-shirts, in 25 of them, relist them, sell similar. Go to Vindu, pull 25 t-shirts over, list them. If I do like 25 a day, cross-listing like that, start there, and then I know, okay, all t-shirts are cross-posted. So do I still put the PM in the title to remind, or in the SKU to remind me? Do I not, because I know all t-shirts are over there? So I'm just playing with different ideas to speed up the process for myself. So then, like, you know, over time, I know if I list t-shirts, go ahead and automatically pull those over so that they can be cross-listed that day. And then in the future going forward, I have to see how their end and sell similar works on Vindu to see if it's even worth it for me to mess with that. So, and just, I'm playing out scenarios in my head, trying to figure out the best way to accomplish my goal, if you will. Tim. Next up, we got a little Hot Wheel. Sold for $7, headed to North Carolina. Allen. Next up, we've got Slayer promo cassette with clutch on it. System of a Down, clutch, and Slayer. Sold for $8, headed to Texas. Julian. So I was laying in bed this morning. I'm like trying to give myself a reality check. Next week, Jerry Clower Runaway Truck cassette tape. Sold for $7, headed to Greensburg, Indiana. I'm like, all right, it's time to start caring about yourself again. Not that I don't, but like I start thinking about yourself again. How about that? That's a better way of putting it. Like figure out, okay, what vitamins should I be taking? I've never taken vitamins in my life. Getting older, hair's thinner. I know somebody said vitamin C or something should, you know, and stuff. I'm like, I don't drink orange juice. I don't drink milk. How am I not dead and dried up by now? I barely drink water. How am I not dead, right? So, I need to start looking into that kind of stuff. Ruth Brown cassette. Sold for $3. I took an offer yesterday just to take an offer. Headed to Santa Cruz, California. In the evening, it was so bad. I'm like, $3, take it. Be done. It didn't show it as a promoted one, so. Next up, we've got some women's Levi's Modern Slim jeans. Sold for $18, headed to Belle Plaine, Iowa. Because, like, I'm ready for warm weather. I'm ready to go hiking. I'm ready to get on my bike and ride around the lake. I'm ready to take some road trips on the weekend. Now that especially Alex has got a basically a 9 to 5-ish Monday through Friday gig with Walgreens now. He's took a promotion. So he was pharmacy tech, and it's like he was like a lead pharmacy tech. Now he's like a manager lead pharmacy tech or something, like doing the scheduling and everything for the pharmacy. So he's home on weekends for the dogs now. So that's why I don't mind having kids still living at home. I don't take out the trash. I don't do the dishes. Jan don't do either one of those either. That's a boys thing. Boys do the grocery shopping, the food getting, and the dog watching, and running any errands if we don't want to run them. So in return, you get to stay here for free. Got a splits ends cassette tape, sold for $6, headed to Carmel, Indiana. All these are like close, aren't they? Minnesota, Indiana, Iowa, 1 California, Indiana, Texas, North Carolina, Iowa. That seems a little fishy. But I did have those 4 international, so. What is he doing? Spilling this thing all over the place. It allows me to still have puppies and not have to worry about them if I want to take a weekend trip. Brian. Next up, we got this Life is Good football cap. Sold for $12, headed to Bloomington, Indiana. Get up there. Don't try to sneak away from me. Final US one, we got Mind Rot Soul CD. Ah, here's a great parent. Anything you could do to get this to me before Easter would make my kid's day. What a parent. What did you get a kid for Easter? I got him a Mind Rot CD. Yeah. Parent after my own heart. All right. Headed to, sold for $20.40. Headed to Red Falls, Minnesota. It should be there easily. Did you pay for a priority? Yes, you did. Wow. Priority you get. Eric. He went all out for his kid on Easter. Mind Rot CD, priority shipping. You can't call him a bad parent. Ba-da-boom, ba-da-boom. Print labels. This up. All right. Scan farm at least printed last night. Get these boxes out of the way. Eric. Carol. Brian. Nora. Ryan, and Nora. We're sitting in a tree. Having a threesome. What? Heather. Until Heather became number 4. Julia. Julia was watching from the ground below, while Alan closed his eyes and said, "What a hoe." Tim said, "Hey, don't call her a hoe. That's my wife." Don't ask. I just make it up as I go along. All right, international time. I just make it up as I go along. Life, for the most part, is much better made up as you go along. It allows you to enjoy the moments more often than not. First up, we got Tudago 18th Annual Fishing and Drinking Tournament. Some people would like that, I would think. Headed to the UK. I don't fish or drink, so not my thing. Sold for $10.50. My dad tried to get me into all that fishing and hunting stuff. Just wasn't my thing. Why hunt your food and kill a poor animal when you can buy food at the grocery store? And that's not hurting any animals. I remember when those memes were whatever were going around. So funny. I had one of the trolls. They usually don't watch this far in the video, so I'm going to talk to you guys about them. One of the trolls crossed the line with me, so anytime anybody says a negative comment now like that, I'm just blocking them. When it's somebody I recognize who, you know, they're malicious. They're just unhappy individuals, right? Because of the whole, I guess for whatever reason, they didn't watch when I was talking about the Ted Nugent thing and how he married a 15-year-old kid, and kind of talked about the polygamy and how they're 15-year-olds and how stuff like that's just not right or whatever. At first, I didn't get it. He said, "You're a PDF file supporter." And just going through quick, because I pretty much ignore the negative stuff. I go, PDF file? I didn't. What does a file have to do? Did I talk about uploading PDFs to eBay? Wait, is that even a PDF file? So I'm like trying to process, like, not really process, but just my first thought was a PDF file. And then when I went back and I read it and saw what he was saying, and it said basically pedophile supporter. I'm like, you've crossed the fucking line right there, buddy. You're out of here. That's just mental sickness right there. So from now on, those people, they're not even worth the time. This is an adult playground, not a child playground, you know. So they can kiss my ass. And you're lucky you hide your face, because you call me that, and I meet you in person, I will straight up knock your ass out. So, what am I doing? I'm talking at the same time, because I ain't playing that bull crap. So, from now on, when I see the comments, I'm just blocking them as people. And there's a couple of them who just keep creating new accounts. I'm like, create new accounts. I don't care. It takes you longer to create a new account than me to go block. So go for it. If you want to waste your time doing that, you ain't wasting my time. You're wasting yours. So yeah, that was crossing the line. So he better hope I never find out who he really truly is, and because I like traveling. Okay, am I done here? Yeah. Because I will knock a mofo out. I mean, you can play games all day long about stuff that don't matter. But when you cross the line with stuff that matters, then you've crossed that line and there's no going back. So I got his information written down. And I've got family in law enforcement. So once I figure out who he is, where he is, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. I'm just saying I like to travel. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing else. I'm just saying I like to travel. That's all. I like investigating. I like deep dives. I like detective work. And I like travel. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? No. I like knocking a mofo out every once in a while if they cross a line. I'm not saying I'll do anything. I'm just saying the things I enjoy. That's all. That's all I'm doing. It's nothing. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. I'm just saying what I enjoy doing. That's all. I wouldn't put my family in that position, so don't worry about that. That was more of a joke because I don't have time to waste on stuff like that. But if that information ever fell into my lap, I wouldn't be mad. Let's just say that. Cabela's camouflage cap, headed to the UK. Sold for $8. And for any legal purposes, everything I just said there is in jest. I don't have time. I run a damn business. I've got a family. I've got puppies. I got things to do. Places to go, people to see. $8. There's a lot of mentally ill people that are allowed to participate in society these days. That there is. We've got this American flag camouflage hat. Headed to Chile somehow. Sold for $10.50. They got a long ass address. Hopefully it won't accept it and I can just cancel this order based on address issue. Actually, that one item that ended up going somewhere, it ever... I don't know if I got a... remember the last time that happened? I don't remember getting an I am not received case. Do I ever look at where the location is, though, on those? That's a question. Yeah, I would have on the international ones. So maybe that last one actually made it. $10.50. Oh, this will be a test. Maybe shipping's got better in South America. We'll find out, I guess. It was taking 30 to 60 days for items to be delivered to Chile and stuff, so that's why I stopped it. And lastly, we got the Kango headed to the UK, sold for $15. I think that if you want to know the person who made that comment, I think he went by Pirate Puppet or Puppet Pirate, one of the two, something like that. So now you know. I think it was Puppet Pirate, at Puppet Pirate on YouTube. I've got it jotted down upstairs. So. Saved on the computer. Yeah. 6. Because homie don't play that. It's all fun and games till you cross the line. Then it becomes more fun. For me, anyway. And that is why they hide behind fake names and fake pictures. Because they're little wussy boys, more than likely boys. Little wussy children playing games on the computer till their mommy calls and tell them dinner's ready. Then they come up from the basement, but they can't because they're really old and slow, because they're like 54 years old, still living at home with mommy, and they can't climb out of the basement, so mommy has to bring down the food for them. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I'm done. Let's print up my end of day. So 4. So those were the only 4 I got in the last 24 hours. So none during the day yesterday. You threatened physical violence on somebody. No, I didn't. You see, I'm a jokester, you see? I tell jokes. I say things in jest. Gosh. Get a sense of humor, Dad. I know it's 2024, and the world's ending and all, but come on. Find the humor in it. All right, I think that's it for me. And I am headed out. I don't know what I'm going to do today. Yesterday I was not motivated at all. I probably got maybe 50, 60 drafts completed, ready to go up today, but got a very late start. But enough about me. Time for me to go. See you all later. Oh, I hear somebody coming. You ready, Pee-wee? You ready, Courtney? Hi. Oops. We got the up. Let's get the down. There he is. There's the Pee-wee. Wanting the underbelly rubs. Oh, look at this. So loving it. Yes, he is. Oh, yeah. Get those eye boogers out of there. I gotta ask you a question. Did you eat the lid to the canned dog food? I know you're always trying to get it. And you got it once and chewed on it. Did you eat it? Because I cannot find it. Probably so. Who knows what this dog's probably eating since he got into the trash. Anyway, all right. Thanks, everybody. See you all in the next video. Later.